I wanted to come on here and do and do this story involving yet again Kyle Rittenhouse and LeBron James. So as we all know, we all know the outcome of the whole situation involving Kyle Rittenhouse, and right now he's pretty much doing his, I guess you can say, his celeb tour. And in one of the tours, he did a stop at a podcast for The Blaze, which has very heavy right leaning conservative views. As a matter of fact, that's the place where the Saltine Queen hails from. So that pretty much tells you all you need to know right there. But the reason why I'm talking about this today is because Kyle Rittenhouse got onto that platform and decided to basically announce to the world that he is no longer a fan of LeBron James, how he used to be a fan of him until LeBron James made fun of his wannabe crocodile tears during his trial a couple weeks ago. But I and a couple of others were looking through comments and everything like that, and it dawned on us. Kyle Rittenhouse, if these tears that you were so-called crying were not fake, then why did you come out and say that about LeBron James and saying you're no longer a fan of his, and to basically say F you? That's what he said, F you, on this podcast. Something tells me that he struck a nerve when LeBron said that. Now, here's the thing. LeBron James was not the only person on social media or even in the world who was watching who made memes and said stuff about Kyle Rittenhouse when he was on the stand and put up this theatrical display of wannabe emotions. It was a lot of people, even a lot of people who were famous as well besides LeBron James. But because it's LeBron James, they have to make him the number one target. Because they feel like when they attack LeBron James, that's a way of attacking the black community as a whole. Because, they always like to put out a black face to represent black people as a whole. And right now, LeBron is like that long-standing face until they can find another person to go after and put that face out there on that pedestal. And that's something else that one of my followers on Twitter and one of my subscribers has said too. LeBron James wasn't the only one who said that, but he went after him in particular. Keep in mind that he went to Arizona State University or attended, but they got him up out of there because they didn't want him there. They were calling him a murderer. They were calling him a white supremacist and all that. And he ended up leaving the school. I don't think anywhere in that podcast was he even questioned about what happened at ASU, nor did he have a comment about ASU, but they made sure to bring up about LeBron because, ASU is a PWI, predominantly white institution. Of course, they say that a lot of the people there are quote unquote left leaning, but I'm sure everybody on that campus isn't left leaning and not everybody's on the same page as a Kyle Rittenhouse. Not everyone's bending the knee or bowing down to kiss the ring. But like I said, it's LeBron James. So, of course, they're going to make it a big deal when it comes to him. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from Independent. Kyle Rittenhouse told NBA star LeBron James F you on Monday after the professional sports star reaction to his emotional breakdown in court. The teenager began to cry in court when speaking about shooting 3 men in a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Mr. James tweeted, "What? Tears. I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." Kyle Rittenhouse, age 18, has taken part in numerous TV interviews following being acquitted of 2 counts of homicide, 1 count of attempted homicide, and 2 counts of recklessly endangering safety. Kyle Rittenhouse was found to have shot and killed 2 people in quote-unquote self-defense during the Wisconsin protest on August 25th. "I was a Lakers fan too before he said that," said Mr. Rittenhouse about the NBA star's comment on Elijah Schaffer in Sydney Watson's podcast, You Are Here. "I was really pissed off when he said that because I like LeBron, and I'm like, you know what, F you LeBron," said Mr. Rittenhouse. And I'm sure they enjoy him saying that because for that to come out of his mouth, that gives more credence. It gives more push to the people who feel the same way about LeBron James, and have it come out of the mouth of Kyle Rittenhouse, someone who they're holding up in this high regard, is the icing on the cake. But like I said, LeBron James was not the only one that said something, but because it's LeBron James, they'll make a big deal out of it. Because a lot of people said stuff about him. And not just black people, but other races and backgrounds and ethnicities of people around the world have said something about this. But because it's LeBron James, and I'm going to keep saying that, they have to make him the target of being insensitive, being negative, and all types of stuff like that. The teen's trial sparked fierce debate across the world about gun laws, the right to self-defense, and what should be considered violent vigilantism. Mr. Rittenhouse also admitted on the podcast that it wasn't the wisest decision to travel to Wisconsin on the night of the protest following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. And the crazy part about it is what he just said there is something we have been saying for such a long time. Why was he even out there? But then you have his supporters who are so, I would say brain dead, but that would actually require them to have a brain. So they're just hollow. It's just empty space up there. We kept saying he shouldn't have been there. He even admits it on more than one occasion that he should not have been there. Of course, he didn't. I don't think it was admitted in court. But of course, now he admits that he shouldn't have been there. Well, hindsight being 2020, probably not the best idea to go down there. Rittenhouse said, can't change that, but I defended myself, and that's what happened. And that's the story he's going with, and that's the story he's sticking with. Of course, that's the story that many of us aren't going to lean on, but then again, that's not our story to tell. Since his trial, Kyle Rittenhouse has been idolized by aspects of the political right. He's met with former President Donald Trump, has been offered internships in politics, and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene even said the teen is worthy of the Congressional Gold Medal. Look at what they're trying to offer someone who just, quote unquote, let's hypothetically say that he did defend himself. Let's go with that. Let's play devil advocate. Kyle Rittenhouse, he defended himself. Why in the hell are they giving him all this stuff for one person who, quote unquote, defended himself? But how many people have defended themselves in the past? Let's say black people. We don't even get a phone call. We get oh, you're going to jail. Look at Kenneth Walker. Defended himself. He gets put in jail. Of course, thanks to Judge Olu Stevens, he gets out and all the charges get dropped. The one I just recently did about John Coffey IV. Or no, Andrew Coffey. I said John Coffey. I'm thinking of Green Mile. Andrew Coffey IV. He defended himself. He gets all the charges found not guilty, but he gets the one for the gun charge because he's a quote unquote convicted felon and could face up to 30 years in prison. They don't get a call from from 45. They don't get a chance to get an internship from Matt Gaetz. They don't get a chance to possibly get a gold medal from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, see what I'm saying here? Are y'all picking up what I'm throwing down? So many people have defended themselves over time, but when he does it allegedly, now they got to roll out the red carpet for him because they found a way to politicize this entire event, something that should not have even been politicized at all. You know why they do that? Because they see Kyle Rittenhouse as their hero. So that's why they're giving him all these extra incentives and they're being all nice to him and whatnot. But something tells me Kyle Rittenhouse is going to do something to piss them off and they're going to turn on him. Just like George Zimmerman did. He was all on their side and whatnot because they did the same thing with him. He was all like, they were all buddy with Georgie because that's what his family called him, Georgie. But the minute that George Zimmerman started to piss them off and he became a nuisance, nobody wanted anything to do with him. Hence why he gets rejected at every little public appearance that he keeps trying to put on. Didn't he try to do some kind of public appearance recently and they shut that down? It's because no one wants to be affiliated with George Zimmerman anymore. His little stunts have ran its course. You got away with murder. What else are you trying to accomplish? And I have a feeling the same thing is going to happen with Kyle Rittenhouse. It says, Mr. Touchy Feely, aka 46, however, said he felt angry and concerned over the verdict of Kyle Rittenhouse trial, but added that he respects the court's decision. A contradictory statement if I've ever heard one. While the verdict in Kenosha will leave many Americans feeling angry and concerned, myself included, we must acknowledge that the jury has spoken, read a White House statement from the president. Listen. All I'm saying is this. LeBron James, whenever they can make him public enemy number one, they're definitely going to do so. Even if he's trying to defend himself, they'll still find a way to make him be the bad guy. Hence that video I did about him having to check that Karen. And people try to make it seem like he was doing a bad thing or he was being a crybaby and this, that, in the third. It's almost like if this guy even gets caught pissing in the wind, he'll be wrong about that. But little Kyle Rittenhouse, oh, let's give him an internship. Oh, I'm going to give him a call. Let's see if we can get him a congressional gold medal. And that Marjorie Taylor Greene, that woman needs to be locked in a room in a jacket, hugging herself, where she's with 4 padded walls, where she's only allowed to go out in sunlight for like an hour a day. Because that woman is completely off her rocker. Everything that leaves out of her mouth is a publicity stunt. She is a walking publicity stunt. Matt Gaetz, didn't he get caught up in some scandals? They not talking about that no more. 45, enough said. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. One thing I had to add to the response that Kyle Rittenhouse gave, if I was LeBron James, he's probably saying, who cares? Like, when I was reading the comments when it was posted up on Instagram, people were saying, okay, and like, is LeBron James's feelings supposed to be hurt by this? Because I know if I was him, it wouldn't mess up my day. I'm gonna just be honest. It's not gonna make me burst into actual tears. I'm gonna probably look at that and just laugh and keep it moving. Because like Kyle Rittenhouse, at the end of the day, besides you taking out 2 people and severely injuring another, who are you? I have a feeling that probably within the next year, we probably won't even or barely ever hear about Kyle Rittenhouse unless he gets caught up in some shit. See, here's the thing. They got to strike the iron while it's hot. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to keep his name in the media as much as they possibly can to ride this thing to the wheels fall off. Like I said, that's what they did with George Zimmerman. And if we're lucky, the wheels are going to fall off sometime in the future. We just don't know when, and we won't have to hear about them again. Something else I noticed too is that Kyle Rittenhouse is probably going to end up doing the same thing that Taylor Swift did with Kanye West a couple years ago. Remember how when Kanye West had got up on stage and interrupted Taylor Swift for her acceptance speech at the VMAs back in 2009? When he was saying that, I don't mean to interrupt, but Beyonce had the best video of all time or something like that. And she basically kept going on and on like the Energizer Bunny, talking about it to keep bringing it up over and over again, even after the storm had passed. Something tells me this isn't going to be the last time Kyle Rittenhouse talks about the whole LeBron situation. And I have a feeling that whoever he speaks to, they're going to keep bringing it up just so he can talk about it. Because, everybody needs a storyline.